Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for September 28th, 2013. It's currently 8 a.m. and we have temperatures already in the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior and lower to mid 50s along the coast. Philadelphia is the warmest spot at 62 degrees. Today is going to be another one of those days where you're going to have scattered cloud cover. If your winds shift to the northeast, expect mostly cloudy skies because the winds will be coming right off the Atlantic and that marine air mass. And temperatures will be rising into the upper 60s to lower 70s. The more sunshine you get, the warmer it's going to get, obviously. So if you are in central New Jersey or southwest New Jersey or the Philadelphia metro, more likely to see 73, 74 degrees for a high. As you head up towards Connecticut and Long Island, more likely to see around 69 to 70. On the surface map, high pressure is in full control and building down the coast. We have a storm that's developing well out into the Atlantic. It won't have any impact on the region this weekend, but we're going to keep an eye on Monday for eastern Long Island. On the radar, you can see really not much going on except for well out here in the Atlantic where we do have some showers starting to develop out here. Now on the infrared side of that picture, here is our high pressure system and here's our storm starting to get its act together. High pressure is going to remain in control all the way through this weekend. As this storm's lifting north, well, that's where eastern Long Island and eastern Connecticut could get clipped with a little bit of rain on Monday morning. It is certainly going to be windy Sunday night into Monday throughout the coastal regions where winds are going to be picking up from the northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And if you're out there on the Atlantic or the coastal waters, winds are going to be ranging anywhere from 20 to 40 knots. So I would not go boating during this time period between Saturday night and, let's say, Tuesday morning. Not going to be pretty out there, that is for sure. This cold front will attempt to move through on Tuesday, but start to collapse. Just a few isolated showers, not really much of a big deal. On the on the water vapor satellite picture, you can see this upper level low overlist starting to get its act together and cutting off. Here's our low pressure system starting to form. Now it's pretty far out there in the Atlantic. It's going to lift north-northwest towards the coast, but then get rebuffed by this disturbance because of this upper level low. Now let me be very clear. This storm is not moving any further west than what's forecasted right now. And the reason why I say that is because of this jet streak right here. This is basically shifting the entire weather pattern to the east. So this builds into the west coast, forces this cold front and this disturbance to move east, which forces this disturbance to pull north-northwest and north-northeast. Okay, so it's not going to get anywhere near the coastline as far as New Jersey, New York City. I think you remain pretty dry for this entire time period as the storm's lifting north. Windy, but dry. However, if you're on the east end of Long Island or extreme eastern Connecticut, yeah, you could see a few scattered showers on Monday morning as the storm lifts north and east. If you're out around, let's say, Boston or eastern New England, right around the Cape, that's where you could see some periods of heavy rain as the storm is lifting north towards the Gulf of Maine and out towards the Canadian Maritimes. But I want to make it absolutely clear because I saw some reports from some other media sources that this storm could shift 100 miles further west and could produce more rainfall. Not going to happen, and the reason why is because of this strong upper level low here, shifting the entire pattern further east. If this decides to all suddenly move more in this direction, more towards the southwest rather than the southeast in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of Alaska, then you have a totally different story, totally different setup. But as you can see here, this upper level low over the Gulf of Alaska is certainly currently moving towards British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest, and so as a result it forces the whole pattern to the east. Looking at the latest model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website using the European model guidance here, and for this evening again our upper level low starts to form here. Our storm is well out here in the Atlantic, high pressures in control, temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s. For tomorrow our low temperatures are going to range from the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. Our high pressure system is in control still, scattered cloud cover. Could be some periods of low clouds due to the northeasterly flow. However, as you can see at 850 millibars, we have plenty of dry air in place, and that means dry conditions will reign. So if you have any plans for tomorrow, hey, it's going to be absolutely beautiful out with temperatures in the lower to mid 70s. Now again, on Monday we'll have to watch to see if any of those showers start to push into eastern Long Island. But as you can see, at 750 millibars and 850 millibars, we have a lot of dry air right along the coast here. So if this storm moved further west, which it's not because of this deep trough here in that upper level low, you'd have to overcome a lot of dry air. So overall, dry conditions for most locations on Monday. Again, if you're in eastern Long Island or eastern Connecticut, watch out for a few showers on Monday morning. It's going to be windy as well. Temperatures, though, will rebound into the lower to mid 70s. And then for the rest of the week, high pressure will be in control with scattered cloud cover and temperatures in the mid to upper 70s over many locations in the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Lower to mid 70s right along the coast. Long Island, once again, near the cool area with temperatures in the upper 60s for highs because of the influence from the Atlantic. And then on Friday, keep an eye on some increasing clouds and the potential for some rainfall Friday evening as a warm front approaches the region. Now, I want to cover something really fast with the 7 to 10 day period because everyone's going to ask me anyway, so might as well get it out of the way. This is the 12Z model guidance from yesterday. You can see there's a nice big trough here on both the European and the GFS model guidance. And then on the 0Z, which is from last night, which is the one we're using currently, there is a ridge. How do you end up with two totally different solutions from both models in such a short period of time? The answer is in the Pacific, and it's called the negative EPO. Basically, the question is, do we have a storm or a trough set up around here, the Aleutian Islands, or here in the Gulf of Alaska? If it's in the Gulf of Alaska, basically you end up with this, with a ridge, broad ridge over the eastern United States, and a very strong storm in the Gulf of Alaska. So basically you end up with this big trough entering the west coast, and then a nice big ridge over much of the rest of the country. However, if you have the storm set up more towards the Aleutian Islands, and you can see it's a lot weaker here in the Gulf of Alaska, and we have this nice big trough around the Bering Strait, around the Gulf of Alaska, then you have a ridge building in the west and a trough in the east. So we're dealing with a lot of model volatility right now. That's what it's called. And so you're getting these swings in the in the models because, quite frankly, the Pacific is very volatile right now. It's kind of normal for this time of year. As the whole 500 millibar pattern starts to shift, there's a lot of questions on exactly how the Pacific pattern is going to set up. And the way that it's set up right now, well, if it does this situation where it develops a nice deep trough around the Aleutians, then we get rather chilly heading into October. However, if it sets up more in the Gulf of Alaska, hey, it's warm and tranquil. So we'll know over the next 5 days exactly how this is going to evolve and how this is going to lock in. But I figure I address this now before I get about 50 or 60 emails asking, hey, what's going on with these models? That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.